from the very beginning. Okay. Questions? All right.
Cool.
So I might have another tour at 11:30. If not, then I'll stay with you guys. But anyway, you guys can stay as much as you want.
Okay, cool.
Now, this altar here, it's called the incense altar. Okay, it was not for sacrifices, and I know it could be confusing because we have the blood, and we'll talk about this. But here they burned incense daily, every morning, every evening, right? After they put oil in the menorah, they burn incense and they go back out. Okay. Now today we don't burn incense, not as a ritual, not at churches. Well, some Catholic churches, but not in synagogues. This was something. The incense in the Bible represents prayers. Okay, people didn't pray. Therefore, this represents the prayers of the people. So twice a day they had to burn the incense. And on Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement, the one day that the high priest had to enter the Holy of Holies, he had to take with him the incense, right? He represents the people. I mean, even the clothes that he has, it shows who he is and who he represents. Okay? Now, you guys know what he looks like, right? Of course. You see him, you're like, oh, here's a high priest. But that's a bit of a problem. If there's somebody here who would come here who never heard about the Bible, right? Or the high priest, you know what they will think he is? A king. That's not clothes of a priest, that's clothes of a king. I mean, what kind of priest walks with a golden crown on his head? Precious stones, gold. This blue was just like the purple, the royal purple. It's made from the same material. There's pomegranates. Pomegranates, that's the fruit of the king. It has a crown. So he's not dressed like a priest, he's dressed like a king. Why? Because he represents the king. He represents God. So this whole outfit was not made for him. It was meant for when he goes out so that people will know, okay, here's a man who represents our king, God.
Cool.
And that shows also what God is like. God says, put the 12 stones, carry them close to your heart, right? The stones are also on his shoulders. So every name is written twice, once on his heart, once on his shoulders. This shows the responsibility he had to carry. Okay, so this was his everyday outfit, but on the one day he entered inside to actually talk to God and come in with the blood and represent it to God, he stripped all of this off. He's going to talk to God. He doesn't need to dress like a king. So he would humble himself and he walked in only with the white linen. That's it. Pure, simple, with the incense, with the prayers, and with the blood of the sacrifice. Okay? But before he went in, he had to take the blood and sprinkle on top of those horns, and only then he entered his own. Yeah, that's why I'm not a high priest. Yeah. All right. So, should we go in?
Yes. As long as we live, man.
Well, you go first. Yeah.
So,
And that's sacrifice.
that's good.
Cool.
All right. So, the Holy of Holies, of course, we have the Ark. Yeah, we're not sure exactly what it looks like. And it's not described very well. Actually, the bottom side, the bottom part, so this and the mercy seat, this is called the mercy seat, so which was the cover. This is mentioned. I mean, we know the sizes. We know they had like a golden crown right around it. This is the side. But when we read about the cherubims, and that's in Exodus 25, there's not a whole lot of description.
Yeah.
We don't know the weight, so we can't assume how tall they were. We don't know what the faces look like. We don't know if the wings are from the top, from the sides, touching not. We don't know. So let's focus about what we do know. Okay, God said there'll be one in front of the other, the heads looking down, and the wings were spread over the ark. That's what we know. And the reason that they have their heads down, looking at the mercy seat, it's because they are bowing to God, which means they're here serving God. So why would people keep wanting to worship them? See the problem? It's always been about God. So also when the high priest came in, he was probably face down on the floor. I mean, if those angels, if they're bowing to God, the high priest would do the same thing. And in every other time in the Bible, when somebody sees an angel of God or talks to God, the first thing he does is face down on the floor. Okay? So not just that it's not described very well in the Torah, I mean, how many eyewitnesses to this are there? The person who built it, and maybe the high priest. Only maybe. Why? Because he was here face down on the floor. The whole place is full of smoke because of the incense. And as far as we know, the only source of light is on the other side of this curtain. Okay. And when he came in with the blood, he had to sprinkle it 7 times on top of the mercy seat in order to ask forgiveness for the sins of the people. Okay. But first he had to come in, ask forgiveness for his own sin, and only then he offered another sacrifice for the sins of all the people. All right. And inside we have the 10 Commandments, the stone tablets. You have the jar, well, they call it the jar of manna, but it's actually a bowl with manna. And the rod of Aaron, which bloomed. It had flowers and almonds, proof that he was chosen to be the high priest from God, right? Because there was a rebellion in the people. So this is the way that they knew, okay, Aaron is the chosen high priest from God, and therefore the only priests who are allowed to serve are the descendants of Aaron. And that's it. Yeah, good.
That's cool.
Pretty cool.
But it also represents Christ, right?
Of course,
Oh,
everything
yeah.
does.
And
Yes.
the branch that buds, it's the first. The almond tree is the first fruit that buds
Yeah, exactly.
in the spring.
Yes, exactly. So the almond tree is the first tree who blossoms in the spring. In the spring, that's how we know spring is coming. But when do you actually get the fruits, the almonds?
In the fall?
In the fall.
Okay.
Here it happens at one night. So it's the first and the last. It's the first one to blossom. It's the last one to bear fruit. And not just that. This is a dead stick who rose to life. And who's chosen to be our high priest? Jesus. That's the same thing. Now, Jesus has 3 parts, or the Messiah, according to the Torah, needs to be both prophet, king, and priest. And he fulfilled that in different times as well. Okay? So this shows that he was chosen to be our high priest. Remember, right after he rose from the dead, right? There were the 2 women who came to him. He says, no, don't touch me. Why? I need to go to my Father first, to the heavenly tabernacle.
To cleanse it.
This is when he came to as a high priest. And this is why the veil ripped when he died. Okay. Yeah. John.
What's the inscription?
Yeah, so it says here Aaron.
Aaron.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, Aaron. All right. Well, I have to run outside to see that there's no people outside. Israelis, they get angry pretty quick, and there's lots of rocks here. But if there be no one, I'll come back.
Oh, of
right?
course.
But you guys feel free.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
And
Thank you.
yeah, of course.
I want to get the inscription of the
Pretty cool, man.
Way cool.
Yeah. Now you know why I wanted you to come.
It only took me 2 years to get here.
Yeah, well, better late than never.
That's the way I look at it.
Hey, you're busy. Man. Until you know it. This is the important part of the school.
I agree.
It's work, running. It's work.
That's a great idea. I can say I've been to all 4 corners.